darling. It's Jennifer from the patio. Hello, hello today. I have a little treat for you today. It is my new, well, actually, it's already out on my Ko-fi shop. A portion of it is. But I created something for fall for you to play with. So it's called a Graceful Shift, where autumn's colors gently unfold. And so I'm going to show that to you today, and then we're going to make a little project out of some of the ephemera pages. Okay, when you go to Ko-fi, I have 26 background pages. That's what I'm going to show you right now. And so you can go ahead and get those, and you know, it has 25 florals and then one background page. So, and then I'm working on some other ephemera pieces that I will put out there. So anywho, this is what it looks like. Dun, dun, dun. And remember, it's a graceful shift. We're moving slowly and gently from late summer into fall. And so we start with some beautiful, let me do these straight so you can see them. Isn't that pretty? I love it. I love it. Okay, so let me just show you all the pages and I won't talk, okay? But every one of them has this creamy, kind of a coffee stained background. It's just kind of subtle. You can still kind of see through. I used some linen paper to print this on. I got it really cheap at a thrift store. And so instead of, I like it, but because it's thicker, but you can kind of see through it a little bit, especially like that. But anyway, that's what I used. Okay, so there's that one. And then we have these pretty carnations. Let me see how I'm putting them over here. Oh, and look at those. Aren't those pretty? Okay, I won't say anything. I'm just going to flip through them because I think they're all pretty. Which is why I put them on there. Hello. I love all the script writing. I love that. Now, those are dahlias. Coreopsis, hydrangeas, black-eyed Susan, kind of, I think this is kind of a coreopsis too. I don't know, to say the honest truth. Yarrow, I love this. I just love it with the script writing. And then we get into the fall pages where I incorporated flowers with foliage, words, you know, different things like that, little splashes of paint. So these are all the fall colors. And I want to say that there's either 10 or 11 of these. But they're all, you know, they all have different flowers on them and leaves. So that none of your stuff's going to be the same. And you can cut these out. But I am going to give you a few fussy cuts. I love these. Yummy. Yummy. I love this too. I have these on some pockets that I'm making, so. And then there's those. That's really gorgeous too. Last two, of course, we have to stick some roses in there and some sunflowers because those are fall. Just so pretty. So this is kind of moving in our last one. And then we get into the deeper colors. So isn't that pretty? We got chrysanthemums, delphiniums. I mean, it's just like, oh, they're so pretty. And so I just wanted to incorporate some different plums and some, you know, some deep reds. So I think there's only like 5 or 6 that have these colors in it. Because there's not a lot of fall colors that are, you know, bright like this. I mean, there are, but anyway. So that is it. So that is all of them. There's 26 pages. And you can go over to my coffee shop and snag you some. So let me just put these back in here. I just had printed some extras. Okay, so we're going to make a project today, and we're going to make it with some of the other pages that are going to come with the kit. It'll just be a little later. Later this week, not later. And so anyway, we have this. I have these pretty solids. Oh, my printer didn't act right on that. Some pretty solids that go with all of the different colors. And then I did a script page that just is it's just, you know, talking about me walking through the garden. And so anyway, and it just repeats itself. So I love that. So we are going to make today, out of these 2 pages, this little project. So, and I might make it a little bit bigger today, but I was playing around, and so I think I saw this on Corey Dahlman. I think it's Dahlman. Corey Dahlman's. She does a lot of crafting with scraps. And so that's where I think this pocket came from. So anyway, my printer, obviously, as you can see, is just acting like a fool. And it's got all these lines. This is an older piece of paper. But, and so anyway, I was just playing around. And so I came up with this. And so that's what we're going to make today. It is a pocket right here. So you have a pocket here, which is, we're going to put this little matchbox there. And then this gives you writing space. I did like a little trim stamping. And then this is a pocket. So the way that we're going to score it and fold it, we get 1 pocket, 2 pocket, writing space. And then the way we attach it, we're going to put it on the page like this. And then we'll have another one that is exactly like it, but it is just on a smaller scale. And so this is a pocket right here. So we'll be able to put yet another little tag in there. So that's what we're going to make today. So what I did with my 8.5 by 11 page is I cut it, you know, this is the page right here. And so what I did is I cut it to be this height, and then I had this piece on top, and that's why I came up with the matchbook. And then this piece is the bottom. So we're going to do the same thing, okay? And so we're going to use this piece of paper, and this is, let me get out my ruler here. This, oh, sorry, I'm going tall. This is about 4. And let's do, it's 3/4. So I think what it did is it gave me, this is, yeah. So 3, so let's see, let's not add, yeah, 4 3/4. And then this is going to be 3 3/4. Okay, we're just going to cut 1, so it's going to be 4 3/4. So unfortunately, I do have to get Big Bertha out because I don't have anything that'll fit that lengthwise. So I'm going to get her out, and it's going to be okay. She is my friend. So I am going to cut. I am going to make sure, yeah, 4 3/4. So it doesn't matter whether I do it from the top or the bottom. So it's going to be 4 3/4. Okay. Easy peasy. And I think the other one I'll be able to get in. I don't think I'll need her again. So I shall put her up on the shelf. Get in there. Okay. So we have our 2 pieces. One is taller than the other. So we will put the shorter one up away. So we're going to get out our scoreboard. And I have to use the big one because we're going across. And we are going to score. Let me get my piece of paper. My pencil. I was going to just put it on a piece of paper for you, but write it down. You were going to score at 4. Let's see where. Let me just use this. We're going to score at 4 and 7 and 8.5. So 4, 7, 8.5. And it is, you know, have the back on it. So, okay, so this is going to be the front. And so we are going to fold it like this. And just make sure that the top and the bottom kind of line up. And then this is going to come over like this. Let me make sure I'm getting this right. Let me just kind of score it down a little bit. Okay. I just folded it so that, because if I don't, it'll just kind of look a little like, you know, it's not fitting right, but it is. Okay, I need to line everything up and make sure that we have it all. Let me get my bone folder out. Okay, so there's that one, and then it's going to fold like this. And I did notice that there was a little extra down there, and I think I'm kind of okay with that, because I may put a tab so that, you know, so that you'll know that there's something there. You know, that you need to flip it open so that you have writing space. Okay, so now that you have that, you can punch the edges. You know, you can round the edges and do whatever you want. I'm going to go ahead and just leave mine, because once you do one, then you feel like you have to do them all, and then these aren't going to be the same. So I'm okay with them being just like this. Okay, so what you're going to do is we are going to glue this down. So we're going to open that up. You can kind of, I want to kind of fold it under, just because you want to make sure that you only put glue on the sides. I'm just looking, this doesn't look even to me. And you know I'm a freak about that. I don't know why, but I guess it's just my perfectionism. But then I just, you know, sometimes I'm just like, oh, have fun, and I don't, you know, it doesn't matter, but oh well. Okay, so we're just going to put glue on the side, and then we're going to flip that little flap up, and then we're going to lay it down. And that is going to make our top pocket right here. And then we'll be able to put some little goodie in there. Okay. And then we have this. So this is going to open, and it'll be writing space. And then what we're going to do is we're going to glue this down so that we can make another little pocket. So just glue the shorter of the two sides, just to make sure that you don't, whoops, I always do that on the right hand side. I kind of go whoop off the page. Okay, so then we're going to just glue that down. Open that up. Just kind of get that down. We love our pockets, and we love writing space and tags. Okay, so that's it. That's what it's going to look like. So it's going to open up. You're going to have writing space here, and then you're going to have a space for a tag here and a tag here. So that is done and complete. So I'll put that to the side. So we still need to make a card for that. And then now what we're going to do is we're going to make the matchbook. And it's pretty simple. Honestly, I didn't even measure, to tell you the honest truth. I just kind of folded it. But I am going to go ahead and measure, because then that way you kind of know. So This is, let's see, let me get out my small one. And remember, however you want it to fold, you want to put it down like this. So I'm going to say this is 4.5. It's actually a little bit more than that, but it's one more than 4.5. Let me see if that's even. No, that's 5. We could go a little bit more. So I don't want to go too short. So I need to, no, you're right. I'm right, not you, because I'm talking to myself. Let's go 4 3/4. Okay, so we'll do 4 3/4. So we're going to go 4 3/4. It's just easier. Let me just stay simple. And then let's fold that. And then honestly, you're just gonna fold it. I mean, that's what I did. And sometimes if I start measuring, I get myself like, oh yeah. But you just want this to have just a little bit of room. You want to be able to put some grommets in like I did. And let's see what this is. This is about 1 1/4. So, you know, you want to be able to. Here, let me just do this. Let's do 1 1/4. So you're going to flip it over and then do 1 1/4. So see, there you're going to end up with that. It's going to open. See, I didn't do it right. Dang it. That's why I shouldn't go by that. That's why I just need to do it by hand. I just need to do it by hand. It's frustrating. Okay. Well, this is my prototype. I'm just showing you. So I'm just going to come down like this. What I do is I do it like this. I just fold it where I want it to go, and then I leave myself enough room to put grommets in. So see, as you can see, you don't need anything big to be able to open up right here. So the only thing is I don't want it to be too big to stick out from the pocket. Oh, yeah, it goes on this one. Okay, let me make sure that it's not more than 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.5. Yeah, it's going to fill the page. So it's a little bit longer than I wanted, and this is not as big, but that's okay. And, you know, honestly, I think I want to do it to where this is on the outside. Because that way when you open it, I mean, you aren't going to, your writing space is on the end, but it just looks funny, you know, to have it all the same. So I'm going to turn it inside like this. And then I'm just going to put it on here on my little board, and then I'm going to line it up in the middle, and then I'm going to go up from this 1 inch mark. I'm going to do the same over here. That is about right. And then I'm going to get my hole punch, and I'm going to punch a hole in it. Same as over here. That looks good. And then we're going to put some grommets in it. Let me get my chomper. So I hope you are having a fabulous Wednesday. Wanderlust Wednesdays are dead and gone because summer is over. And my hubby went back to work, and I am getting ready for my fall shows and spending time with you guys and having family outings over the holidays. So, okay. And then it's just a little flip to open that up. And, you know, what we can do is, you know, I'm just going to do a little small punch on this one. On my baby rounder. And then there it goes like that. So this will go in this pocket right here. And I like the contrast like that. Okay, so that is done. It's pretty simple. You know, I mean, most of our stuff is simple. It's just, you know, we're always looking for stuff to give us a little extra real estate. Someplace to, you know, write, and just adding decorative cards and things. So this is pretty though for fall, and I love this. So now what we're going to do is we're going to make one of these to stick in the back. So this one's a little bit skinny. So depending on, so this is 4 inches. So we can make a tag. Let's see, this one is 3. I'm going to say 3.5. We could even go 3 3/4, but it might be kind of snug depending on how we glue it. So let's just do 3.5. So this one is also short. So it is 5.5. So I'm going to say 6.5. So 3.5 by 6.5. And let me write that down. 3.5 by 6.5. Okay, that's how tall we want it. And then we're going to make it 3.5 wide. So if you can see, it's just doubled. So if we do 3.5 and 3.5, then that means our total needs to be 7, because you're adding 3.5 and 3.5. So we need it to be 7 long and 6.5 tall. So my Timmy does have a little 7 mark on it because I put it on there myself. And this one, I just put that cream paper on the back. Okay, so we're going to do 7. And then we're going to do 6.5 tall. Let's do it from the top. Okay, so there we are. And we're definitely going to round the corners, but I'll wait until it's complete. So all you're going to do, it's pretty simple. You're going to fold it in half. And that's what gives you the initial. But we're going to do it this way, like this. Because when we fold it back, we want... And then all you're going to do is you're going to take one side, and it can be either this side if you want it to be like that, or if you're right, or, you know, it depends on whether you're right-handed or left-handed. It'll be like that. So depending on if you're right-handed or left-handed, if you want your pocket to be on this side or if you want it to be on this side. So I kind of want it to be like this, so when it opens up, you know, you see the words going across right here, just as it's on the page. And then you just meet the corners and just burnish it down. And of course, you want to ink. So I didn't ink that other one, but I am going to ink this because we're going to glue it, and then there's no way I'm going to be able to do that. Also, I'm going to, excuse me, I had that in my mouth. That is so rude of me. Let me just round these. And this one. And this one. And then let me just do this real quick. Okay. So anywho, well, I'm really excited. I've been designing all day and making the ephemera to go with the backgrounds, and I like it. And I just wrote a little story to put in here. And so anywho, so that's going to be like that. I feel like I need this just a little bit darker. And then this needs to be, because it's going to open up and give us some more writing space. And then we can make like a little pocket to stick in there. I mean, a little tag to stick in the pocket, sorry. Okay, so it's going to go like that. I'm just making sure that it has enough ink, because I want you to be able to see that. Okay, that looks good. So I'm going to round this corner before I put glue on it. Get that done. Now it is going to be a card that you're going to pull out, so we're going to do a, and then you can, you know, you'll have writing space on the back as well. So you'll want to put a little inky ink on the back. Okay, so let's burnish it down, make sure it's good and done. Okay, so now all we're going to do is we're just going to put glue on this top and bottom right here, and then we're going to glue it down, and that is going to be it. That is it. That's all she needs. And then you just press it down. Okay, that is it. So this will go like this. It'll go behind, and I like it taller. You know me, I like a tall tag. So there, and then this, we can put some twine on it or whatever, like I did this one. And maybe embellish it a little bit. But that's the gist of the project, so I don't want to keep you, but I want you to see. And so let's just I don't have any. Let's see, I do have these, but I don't want to put the same thing inside, and you don't want to do the back. I'm trying to think. I do have a lot of these. So let's just find something. I think I found some right at the front. Yes. Don't you just love having stash already done? That's pretty. That goes well. And I think I might put like an orange flower or something on that. I like the smaller text. Let me see what else I have. I have Ludwig van Beethoven. No. Look at this. I had so much fun doing that. I was like, you know what? I'm going to put some old TV guide stuff in there. Okay, so that looks good just the way it is. And, of course, you know, if we ink it up, it's going to look really good with the contrast. Let me get that all done. That's the thing, is I make these and they're all bald, you know, they're bare until I know what I'm going to put on them. And then I will find something that goes. So I need to find a little orange flower of some sort, since it's a fall. Something fall is what I'll put on there. But anyway, that is the project. That's the gist of it. It's very simple, but I just wanted to come on here and show you my new kit. And, you know, like I say, go to my Ko-fi shop and you can find it there. And it is called A Graceful Shift, where autumn's colors gently unfold. That's what it's called. I had such a mouthful. I think I'm just going to call it a Graceful Shift. I have had about 4 people already buy it because I mentioned it in the comments. But go check it out. Maybe it's something that you might want for fall. And like I say, I am making right now the ephemera, another portion of it that to go with it. So, you know, that'll be coming out in another day or 2. So, hey, thanks for hanging out with me. I hope you have a wonderful day. And remember, you only know what you know till you know something different. Bye-bye.